Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do a little kind of catch-up video, a general video of where we are and my plans going forward as far as step-by-steps and things. If you've been watching recently, you've been knowing that I've been doing a lot of floor pan metal work here, which I actually really enjoy doing and going through it step-by-step with you guys. But now I'm at a stage where the floors are in. They're basically all welded up. Last video I think it was putting the seat bracket in on this side. Got to do the same on the other side. I'm not going to shoot that. It's the same thing. So essentially the floors are done. I've knocked down a few welds and they're done. I'll turn the car over and let me get started. I'll show you my general plan and what's ahead of us up to the point of epoxy primary. Now, if you watch some of it, I look back at some of the videos, I was thinking I was going to epoxy prime the next week. It's not like that. You start building into these jobs, working your way into these jobs, you're finding different things that just has to be taken care of. No good putting paint and primers and stuff over stuff that needs doing. So you just got to keep going down the road until you find the bottom. This is the bottom, and I'm working my way up now and working my way out of the car, and then we can get it in primer. One thing before I forget, before I talk, I wanted to show you a little thing that I did, and it's kind of an ongoing experiment. Hold on just a second. Jumping ahead, when this car is all painted and everything's done, the whole paint job, then I'm going to treat all the cavities with what's called a surface shield. It's like a lanolin based product on all the internal cavities. And I don't know why anyone wouldn't do this, because it's amazing stuff, especially on the internals. On the external, people do it, but it does need reapplying every few years depending on the weather and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, some time ago I made up this little kind of mock-up of an inner rocker and an outer rocker, and I just screwed it together to simulate the panel, and I treated all the inside. This has no paint on it whatsoever. This is just lanolin surface shield. The outside is bare steel. Now I'm leaving it outside for a period of time. I'll probably come back to this. I might even go through the winter with this and allow it to really weather, and we'll see. We can already see on the outside we're starting to get little rust spots appear on the bare steel, and inside is coated up. It looks a little dirty because, you know, wind blows dirt in it and it tracks, but that is only lanolin based there. I'm going to leave this out for a long period of time and show you after weathering for a period of time. We'll split it apart and we'll see the joint as well. So anyway, that's just something I've got on the go. Wife is constantly asking why things are hanging around outside for no purpose, but this is the purpose. Anyway, let's get into the car and I'll show you my plan for the near future. Now, quite obviously the outer rocker needs fitting, but that's for a little ways away. My friend Stone said he can probably supply me with an outer rocker. If not, I can pull what's remaining off of my parts guard, straighten out. It's got a few dents, straighten out. It's good metal, and stick that one on there. And anyway, and then we've got obviously a jack point to put in here. Very straightforward. That's just in here. That is probably going to be left until the point of alignment for the outer rocker. Just make sure everything lines up nicely. Now that the pans are in, few little details to finish on there, and on the underside, a few little things I want to catch. But some time ago I talked to you about inside the inner trunk underneath these cars where the fuel pump is attached. There's a reinforcement plate that is essentially doubled up, so it's not just bolted onto the floor, it bolts to a reinforcement plate. It's a triangular piece of metal. That's where the fuel pump attaches. But as you look back, you'll see a little bracket for the brake line, hard brake line underneath. There was a little corrosion under there, and to make a proper repair, I have to get all that under seal off of the inside of the trunk here, take that triangular bracket off. I think I can get that off, probably break some spot welds, make the repair, treat all that area, and then reapply it. So that's all ready for then epoxying and satin black on the inside of the trunk. Let me quickly show you, then I'm going to come back to this area. Now obviously this is a the trunk wheel panel on the left side here, but there's halfway I've removed this sound deadening stuff. I don't think this is stock, because my two other 108s, even though it's the 109, my 108s do not have that heavy bitumen type stuff that's layered on here. I may be wrong, because this is a 109. And from my understanding, they have, see these low points here, they have strips of it there, and then obviously the rubber matting goes over. But let me know if you have any knowledge of what it's supposed to look like under a 109. So there is, you can see it, there's part of the triangular, that guy out of the way. There's the triangular bracket there. Let's zoom in, there you go. So there's the triangular bracket for all the fuel pump assembly. I've got to take that. You can see there's some surface rust there I want to take care of. Rest of the floor looks in really good shape. And then just up to the left here is the shock tower right there. And then remember this area, because I want to show you something on the wheel arch on the other side. Right, this is the other side, shock tower here, and there's some rot right here and here. Let me get a flashlight in there, hold on. That's better. So you can see the rot holes here and here. Now, sure, I could do a little patch or a patch here, but because of the shock tower, you see, if I did a patch here, I wouldn't be able to clean up on the other side. So what I think I'm going to do is kind of an arching patch here in one hit, repair all of that, and then I'll have access to the joint inside the trunk to tidy up and metal finish and make sure it looks nice and no obvious welding repair can be seen. And then once this is all smoothed out, that takes me on to this essentially leg area that extends from the rear here, the strike plate that we repaired and put on, all the way through our repairs. Remember, we repaired this area for the stabilizing bar in the rear of the 109. We've done various reinforcements. These are reinforcement plates to so it's spot welded and butt welded, so it's mega strong. Correct the camera here. And then so this piece needs to be fabricated that curls all the way back and then dives into our inner wheel arch that then connects to our outer wheel arch. So are you following me? So that's the plan of attack right now. Let me take you outside and show you from that point on. So here we have a rear quarter panel off my scrap 108 in the garden. The wife is loving that, I can tell you. Anyway, so this is a part section of the inner wheelhouse here. I cut it straight across because I didn't need any of that, and it made removing this a lot easier. I needed this inner wheel arch because back to the car again, our inner wheel arch is shot on the 109, so I can replace right up to about here all the way. But to do that, I need to separate this wheel arch from this outer panel, get that welded in nice all the way in, spot welded and solid. Then we can bring this panel in and finish off the driver's side. I've just got to break all of that rubbish off of there. I'm going to save this guy, you know, because this connects to our lower trunk pan there that I showed you earlier and sitting around in the trunk. So this is decent, so I'll just clean all that up. Rest of it is in really nice shape. Look at that, looks almost factory, you know, that's really nice. And also I'll take some photos of the way they've done their seam sealer as well. They've got a kind of a, see, kind of nice brushed look, so I'll try and replicate that as close as possible. And also when the outer wheel arch gets mounted on, there is the joint between the outer and the inner wheelhouse. Going to have to pre-treat that with a seam sealer all the way around, and then it gets squidged on and then all spot welded in. And I will probably send a probe in there, you know, a probe to put some lanolin based stuff in there as well, but that's for later. Now, the way these are connected, series of spot welds on the arch, I'll show you, spot welds all around here up to the lock area. I'm thinking I'm making a cut along here and then we're going to break these spot welds around the sail panel here, break those soft panels, welds, make a jump right across here to this joint here that connects to this plate, and I'll show you how that's connected here and how that is telling me how I can break it here. I've got to take this guy off to gain access. This is all good fun, isn't it? So anyway, so see the joint here, I cleaned it up a little bit so I could see the joint right there, you see, and there, right there, there's the lip. And there's a little bump here, so this is where it connects. So I've just got to break that on that joint, and then that should go on nice. Made a cut across here, I can easily butt weld that closed nice. Got my spot welds broken on that one, and then we can tidy this up and butt weld that. This, I think, is the way I'm going to go, even though got to be very careful of making sure all of this line of trunk lines up lovely with the other one. So I've got to put the boot lid on, right, so we make sure our trunk gaps and everything lines up. And at the back here, where it connects here, it's a similar affair. See, there's tab connections here, and also spot welded to this tab here that I've already removed on my car, ready. So it's a lot of fussy work, you know. Just got to go careful, being mindful of what to save and all that good stuff. So that is generally, I'm sure there's more that I've forgotten. That's generally what we're going on at the rear of the car on this side. I'm not going to go to the other side, but the other side is similar, rear quarter panel, very similar on the other side, rocker, etc. We've got most of the rocker on the other side up to about here. So anyway, on the front here, some time ago, all of this front is taken off of my parts car. I put all that on, that's all new, or new to this car. And obviously because this is a 109 with the air suspension, boom, it's got to have the third hull because this is off of a 108, right? This whole section here. So to do that, this is a section of the original. So all I'm going to do, see the two holes here, I'll just temporarily bolt that on there, and that tells me where my hole can be drilled, right there. That's why you need to save all the bits you're taking off. So that's general catch up. Obviously there's a lot more to do than just that, but that's my overall plan from this point on bodywork, and then I'll give you a little catch up video from that point once we get all that in. And as far as the engine stuff, let's go in the engine room. This is the block. As you know, some time ago now, the whole rolling assembly is in there. Rods, pistons, bearings, gapped all the rings, everything. That's all been machined, ready to rock and roll. So I've been waiting for the heads. I've got the heads back. We've got all new guides in there. These are manganese bronze guides. I was recommended to go with those over and above the Mercedes ones, actually. They said the Mercedes ones were a little on the softer side. Manganese is apparently a much harder wearing and better heat dissipation and all good stuff. So I got those made by SI Valves in Simi Valley, Southern California. Talk to Pete if you're interested. Very reasonable. I'm going to go over costs in a upcoming video of the whole cost of all the engine parts. Now obviously it's going to vary depending on your situation, but it gives you an idea of what you can expect to pay if you're doing this just on your own. But obviously if you get a shop to do it, it's going to be a lot more because they got to pay labour and shop rates and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, new valves as well. The SI Valves made me new intake valves at a very reasonable cost. The exhaust valves are from the Classic Center. But that's all for the moment. I'm not going to talk too much about that because that's for a future video. But all of this is getting ready for the assembly time, so which is going to be quite an event. These tanks here have got some plumbing and parts that I want to get either myself plated or sent out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet because I'm very concerned about loss of parts in the whole process, but I'll probably end up doing quite a bit myself. Anyway, So I think that's about it for this little catch-up video. I wanted to get back to you because I know I have been a little sporadic on the videos lately, and that's purely just because life gets in the way, you know. While doing all this work, things around the house need doing as well, and you've got to keep the home fires burning. So I have been a little distracted because of other stuff, other car repairs as well, my son's car, my wife's car. And also the house needs painting and the windows need replacing, you know the score. So we've got to try and balance this with home life as well. And that's why a project like this can run into the years. And as you know, I've been going for years on this thing. And I don't really care whether it takes years because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying chatting with you guys about it. And also I'm learning stuff all along the way. So yeah, for this video, kind of a little catch-up one. Not sure what I'll be filming next. I will see whatever the mood takes me. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please hit like, share, subscribe. Getting close to 6,000 subscribers, which is kind of cool. I know this is kind of more of a specialist channel. You know, see other car channels, you know, obviously the American stuff, they get much popular, but this is real specific on a few models. I try and vary as much as I can with our friends and other cars, but anyway, I hope you stick with me, and please stick comments down. I like chatting with you guys, it's a lot of fun, and criticisms, well, I don't care, so we all learn. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra.